Hello and welcome to Express News with me, Deepika, your daily half-an-hour window that brings you all the latest news and updates from the country and the world in just 30 minutes. Let's begin. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar delivered suo motu statement in both the houses of the Indian Parliament on the situation of Bangladesh. Dr. S. Jaishankar stated that after Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina resigned, she requested approval to come for the movement to India and that she arrived in New Delhi on Monday. Dr. S. Jaishankar said that there are an estimated 19,000 Indian nationals in Bangladesh, adding the ministry is in close and continuous touch with the Indian community through diplomatic missions. Addressing the situation with regard to the status of minorities, he said that there are reports of initiatives by various groups and organizations to ensure their protection and well-being. The Indian minister had opened his statement by acknowledging good relations with Bangladesh and said that both the nations have been exceptionally close friends. The Indian government held an all-party meeting to discuss the situation in Bangladesh, where Dr. S. Jaishankar briefed the leaders on its development. In a social media post, Dr. S. Jaishankar appreciated the unanimous support and understanding that was extended at the meeting. India is hosting the first Bay of Bengal initiative for multi-sectoral technical and economic cooperation business summit in the national capital on Tuesday. The business summit will be inaugurated by External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar, and other union ministers will deliver keynote addresses. The Indian Air Force is hosting the first phase of multinational air exercise, Tarang Shakti, from today. The first phase is underway in the southern part of India at Sulur of Tamil Nadu. The Lok Sabha, the lower house of India's parliament, paid tributes to the victims of the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki on Tuesday. A massive fire broke out at a chemical factory in Haridwar, Uttarakhand, with fire tenders working to douse the flames. The chief fire officer said that 50 to 60% of fire have been doused. A contingent of Indian Air Force has arrived in Kuantan, Malaysia for bilateral exercise Doordarshan 2024 with a focus on strengthening bilateral ties. The 5th edition of the Global FinTech Fest will take place from 28th till the 30th of August in India's financial capital, Mumbai. The theme of the fest is Blueprint for the Next Decade of Finance, Responsible AI, Inclusive, Resilient. Amid heightened security, another batch of Amarnath Yatra pilgrims departed from Panta Chowk Srinagar base camp for Baltal and Pahalgam routes under heightened security measures. India's 78th Independence Day celebrations will be held on 15th of August at the Red Fort in New Delhi, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi will hoist the national flag in the presence of specially invited guests from across the country and the world. Reserve Bank of India began its bi-monthly fiscal policy meeting on Tuesday to decide the benchmark interest rate and the path ahead for the Indian economy. The bi-monthly meeting headed by RBI Governor Shaktikanta Das to be held from the 6th till the 8th of August. The last time the central bank hiked the repo rate was in February 2023. A US judge has ruled Google acted illegally to crush its competition and maintain a monopoly on online search and related advertising. John Schulman, one of the co-founders of artificial intelligence company OpenAI, has left the ChatGPT maker for rival Anthropic. The Indian markets failed to hold on the morning gains and ended lower for the third straight session on Tuesday. The BSE Sensex ended at 78,593, down 166 points. The NSE Nifty 50, on the other hand, ended 63 points, down at 23,992. Indian rupee rebounded 12 paise from all-time low level to close at 83.97 against the US dollar. Gold futures maturing on the 4th of October stood at 69,420 rupees per 10 grams on Multi-Commodity Exchange of India Limited. Silver futures maturing on the 5th of September stood at 79,280 rupees per kilogram on the MCX. Asian shares recovered from the previous day's sell-off as central bank officials' reassuring statements calmed market jitters, leading to a relief rally on Tuesday. Japan's Nikkei index surged over 10% to above 34,500 on Tuesday, driving a regional recovery in Asian share markets, with MSCI's broadest India index of Asia-Pacific shares outside Japan rising 2%. China stocks struggled to gain traction on Tuesday despite the regional market's rebound as investors remain cautious about China's sluggish economic recovery, with the CSI 300 slipping 0.2%. Taiwan stocks rebounded by over 4% on Tuesday following a record drop the previous day amid ongoing concerns about the US economy and tech companies. The US dollar suffered significant losses on Tuesday, with the yen retreating after a sharp rise the previous session as traders navigated through unwinding of popular carry trades and potential deep rate cuts by the Federal Reserve. Bangladesh's parliament dissolved on Tuesday, a day after Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina resigned and left the country following violent protests. Bangladeshi Army Chief General Wakar Uz-Zaman met with the protesters and leaders of political parties, excluding Sheikh Hasina's Awami League, on Tuesday to discuss country's future. Student leaders in Bangladesh demanded that Nobel laureate Muhammad Yunus to be appointed as the chief advisor to an interim government, rejecting a military-led government. In the run-up to the U.S. elections, Democratic presidential candidate Kamala Harris selected Minnesota Governor Tim Walz to be her running mate on Tuesday. Indian President Draupadi Murmu met with Fijian Prime Minister Sitveni Rabuka in Suva, Fiji, to strengthen historic ties and partnership between the two nations. President Murmu attended and addressed the Parliament of Fiji, highlighting strong relations between India and Fiji and expressing India's readiness to engage with Fiji in all areas. The Fijian president also conferred the highest civilian award, called the Companion of the Order of Fiji, upon Indian President Draupadi Murmu on Tuesday. President Draupadi Murmu paid tributes to brave souls at the National War Memorial Suva, Fiji, honouring those who sacrificed their lives for their nation and humanity. US President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris received a briefing from their national security team on developments in West Asia, including threats from Iran and its proxies. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken emphasized intense diplomacy to ease tensions in West Asia, urging all parties to refrain from escalating the situation. US Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin held a conversation with Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant, reiterating US's dedication to supporting Israel's defense against threats from Iran, Lebanese Hezbollah and other Iran-aligned militant groups. Russia's Security Council Secretary Sergei Shoigu met with Iran's Rear Admiral Ali Akbar Ahmadian, concluding that Iran seeks regional stability through punishing aggressors. Several governments, including the US, UK and France, issued advisories and evacuation orders for citizens to leave Lebanon immediately following Hamas chief's assassination. Nearly 400 people were arrested and dozens injured after 6 days of riots in parts of England and Northern Ireland. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer vowed to take action against violent protesters targeting Muslim communities seeking to quell anti-immigration rioting. The High Commission of India in London issued a travel advisory urging citizens to exercise caution when travelling to the UK due to recent protests and violence. Thousands of supporters of imprisoned former Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan gathered in the city Swabi, marking 1-year anniversary of his detention and demonstrating their continued backing for his cause. North Korea held a ceremony for the delivery of 215 new strategic ballistic missile launchers to frontline military units, attended by leader Kim Jong-un and his daughter Joo-ae. Protests in Nigeria, which began last Thursday, have resulted in at least 13 fatalities as hundreds of thousands of demonstrators demand relief from economic hardship and rising crime rates. Separatists in Indonesia's eastern region killed a New Zealand pilot after he landed his aircraft in a remote area, leaving others on the port unharmed. Time to take a short break. We'll be right back.
The one common theme between all major cities across the world is hope and the promise of new opportunities and possibilities that gravitates people towards them.
The reason why we advocate green transformations is because you can retain the building and you can actually modify.
There's a lot that happens when you extract sand beyond sustainable limits. It's going to change your course of your river, it's going to widen the channel, it's going to damage, and we are paying a big price.
We have 2 water reservoirs on 84 acres of land. During periods when the river water is non-saline, we store water in these reservoirs. Throughout the year, we distribute this water to residents.
Tiny houses are in vogue. Less is more. Many also assume tiny homes are more eco-friendly.
Welcome back after that short break. Let's continue with Express News. The Indian Meteorological Department has issued an orange alert for severe rainfall in northeastern, northwestern and western states of India. India's Met Department said that monsoon conditions will remain active over the central and adjoining northwest India for the next 2 days. West Madhya Pradesh is likely to receive heavy rainfall in the coming days. Hurricane Debbie made landfall in Florida on Monday, bringing widespread flooding and wind damage to the Anna Maria Island and across the Manatee County. Streets of Tampa in the U.S. state Florida were flooded on Monday after Tropical Storm Debbie dropped a deluge of rain in the region. At least 6 people were killed in torrential rains and floods. An EF1 tornado hit downtown Buffalo in New York on Monday, causing damage to the buildings and tossing the cars. The National Weather Service reported the tornado reaching peak winds of 90 meters per hour. China's megacity Hangzhou, home to the tech giants, has banned all non-essential landscape lighting this week to conserve energy amid extreme heat reaching 40 degrees Celsius. Evacuations were issued after a wildfire broke out in a residential hillside in Southern California on Monday. More than 200 firefighters were dispatched to combat the blaze. 25% of it has been contained. Bulgarian firefighters on Monday continued to battle wildfires that have been active for more than 2 weeks in an area close to the Greek border. Residents in flooded communes in Vietnam's Lao Chai were evacuated to safety after a hydropower plant carried out a flood discharge due to the rapidly rising flood on the Chai River. The park fire that has become the 4th largest fire in California's recorded history has burned over 400,000 acres. 34% of the fire has been contained as of Monday. A first-ever all-women mountaineering team of the India's Border Security Force has embarked on an expedition to scale a 7,130-meter peak located in the state of Uttarakhand. The contingent of 12 female mountaineers are aiming to scale the Mount Mukut East and unfurl India's national flag and the force flag on the summit. The Northrop Grumman Cygnus NG-21 cargo spacecraft successfully docked with the International Space Station on Tuesday. The Cygnus spacecraft delivered over 8,200 pounds of equipment and supplies for scientific experiments. It will also remain attached to the ISS for several months before returning to the Earth. Female muralists from the Amazonian indigenous Shipibo-Cunibo community in Peru share their cultural heritage through beautiful murals. The muralists of Soinama collective produce murals that feature geometric patterns depicting their vision of the world. They use motifs commonly seen in their traditional embroidery and pottery. Japan on Tuesday marked the 79th anniversary of the US atomic bombing in Hiroshima. Prime Minister Fumio Kishida called for a world free from nuclear weapons. About 50,000 participants, including ambassadors from 109 countries, observed the event at an outdoor memorial ceremony at the Hiroshima Peace Memorial Park. A factory in Egypt is producing ice in an environmentally friendly way with its new technology that reduces thermal emissions, lower carbon footprint and minimizes water waste. Established in 1988, the factory aims to continue innovating and spreading their idea globally to eliminate contaminated ice and reduce carbon emissions. Residents of Rome descended on the ancient Basilica of Santa Maria to celebrate one of the city's strangest miracles observed every year. The annual modern spectacle, celebrated since 1983, includes the artificial snowfall and a colorful light show that blows through the hot August summer air. Canines and their owners joined the annual World Dog Surfing Championship in US state California's Pacifica. The dog surfing contest raises awareness about dogs in need and money for charities and hosts canines ready for adoption on the site. Vietnam's five-tone music, traditionally reserved for important ceremonies, is drawing interest among young people across the country. Becoming a member of a five-tone musical ensemble is a source of pride for many in Vietnam, and the five-tone music classes are attracting a growing number of learners. A tailor in Gaza has found a way to make the wheel of his sewing machine turn with a bicycle amid a scarcity of energy. With a bicycle and help from his children, Raj Saad powers his sewing machine in the ruins of his factory. Saad's 13-year-old son, Isa, turns the pedals as he sews. UK's renowned but secretive street artist Banksy has revealed a new stencil-style artwork in southwest London depicting a goat on a ledge with falling rocks. The latest installation, located near Kew Bridge in Richmond, was confirmed as authentic and is attracting numerous onlookers. The official teaser of Indian actor Salman Khan and Indian singer and rapper A.P. Dillon's song Old Money has been unveiled. The full track is set to release on the 9th of August. Indian sci-fi film Kalki 2898 AD is having impressive last leg at the box office. The film has crossed over $115 million and its 6th weekend. Netflix has released the trailer for Volume 4 of the popular sports documentary series called Untold. The series will stream on the platform from 20th of August. The first series for HBO's comedy drama called The White Lotus Season 3 has been released. The third season takes place in Thailand and is set to premiere in 2025. American crime drama television series Criminal Minds Evolution has been renewed for a third season. No specific release date has been announced till now. The long-awaited second season of Korean survival drama series called Squid Game will be released on 26th of December later this year. A teaser for the forthcoming It prequel series Welcome to Derry has been shared. The HBO Max's series is set to air in 2025. Korean pop boy band 17 have announced the first date for their upcoming 2024 Right Here World Tour. The tour is set to kick off in October 2024 in South Korea. Oscar-nominated American director David Lynch says that he will not retire despite his emphysema diagnosis. Hollywood star Tom Cruise and French bands Air and Phoenix are expected to perform at the Paris Olympics closing ceremony on the 11th of August. Tom Cruise will be performing a stunt as well. At the Paris Olympics, Team India is all set to take on reigning hockey champions Germany in semi-final clash. Indian wrestler Vinesh Fogart defeated Ukraine's Oksana Livac to advance into semi-finals of women's 50 kg event. Defending Olympic champion Neeraj Chopra qualified for the javelin throw final in its first attempt itself. India's Avinash Saple becomes first Indian to qualify for the final round in men's 3,000 meter steeplechase event. In table tennis, India suffered a 0-3 loss to China in pre-quarter-final round. Legendary Swedish player Armand Duplantis has set a new world record height of 6.25 meters after winning gold in men's pole vault. Valerie Allman of United States of America claimed gold in women's discus throw event. Kenya's Beat Rice triumphed in women's 5,000 meter event. In women's 8,000 meter, 800 meter, Keely Hodgkinson of Great Britain took gold. And France will play an Olympic men's football final for the first time in 40 years after beating Egypt by 3-1 in extra time. Now they will face Spain for the gold medal clash. And with this, it's a wrap here on Express News for now, but news and updates will continue here on DD India. So don't go anywhere. Keep watching and keep tracking DD India for all latest news and updates from the country and the world. Thank you so much for joining us right now. Namaskar.